Hi everyone, just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's shown interest in my social media content creation package. Again, I still don't have a good name for it. But anyway, in the meantime, I put together a little survey on Instagram recently, just based on a video about some quick demonstrations that I did about some outdoor lighting. So showing you how lighting affects your face and how you can kind of get in and out of hard and bad lighting to make things look a bit better. People said they wanted to see a little more of that, so I'm going to set up a couple of scenarios and explain it a little bit better in three kind of levels of difficulty. So I'm going to shoot one kind of explanation with my phone. So I'll do a demonstration with my phone. This is an iPhone XS, something like that. Yeah, it's an iPhone. I'll shoot it with, hang on, I asked my uncle, do you have like a normal kind of point and shoot, I bought this for going on holidays camera? And he said yes, it hasn't even come out of the box. So hang on. So this is a, hang on, a Fujifilm FinePix S8650. So it's the kind of camera I would imagine a lot of folks, well, this has probably got a couple of years on it now, but it's the kind of camera people go out and buy because it's a bit bigger, and people are like, oh, it's a bit bigger. It doesn't, you know, the lens doesn't come off or anything like that, so I won't lose it, but it looks a bit bigger, so people think, oh, it must be a good camera. But some people would say the best camera is the one that you have on you. So I'll shoot one with the iPhone, I'll shoot one with this yoke, and I'll shoot one with my professional camera, and just show you some examples about how a little bit of trickery, a little bit of know-how can make the scene look a bit better, and you can get good results from your phone and from this. It's just kind of a bit of know-how. So scene one, this isn't the demonstration by the way, scene one involves possibly one of my favoritist things in the world, the common day Apple turnover. We'll shoot some of this with the iPhone, with that camera, wherever it is, up there somewhere, and with my big camera. This is bad lighting. Yeah, this seemed like a good idea. It doesn't really now. So yeah, I've also used this box. This is a box that I keep in the studio for kind of kids to sit on, to get people up to levels with each other. Here's a first example of why an iPhone is difficult to shoot with, because it will mess about and change your exposure and your lighting based on what it sees, based on what it sees. So you don't have a whole pile of control. But yeah, so this box, just to give, I'm gonna get up, hang on. So started grabbing a couple of shots of these. It's worth saying also there's no fancy lighting or fancy gadgets really involved in what I'm doing. All I'll be changing really will be the cameras, and I'll be using a big piece of white card. So not even fancy, like I have reflectors, silver and all sorts of colors. This is just a white piece of card. And we are using some window light. There's our subject. We're using this to bounce. So I've tried to keep these images much the same and shoot them from the same angle. You'll see the wood adds a nice kind of bit of texture and something interesting to look at instead of just white. So you see the photos are pretty much quite similar. The quality's not too bad, and I've edited these just on my phone, just on an app that I can use on my phone. It's called Camera Plus. But I think you can see the difference in the cameras. Obviously, the last two are taken with the big professional camera, and the main difference being the quality that it'll produce and the depth of field. So you'll see how, even with not a whole pile of space to work with, it'll give a nice little blur to the background, to the wood, but it'll leave the subject or the pastry kind of nice and sharp and focused. But this is all shot with just a very, very basic setup. No fancy crazy lights, just whatever light was coming through the window, and a bit of card to bounce some of that light back into it. So it's easily replicatable and can be done in in the confines of your own home or in your own business. Just showing everyone, this is a portrait, this is someone's face. So if you're taking a picture of someone's face, generally they want to be nicer lit and they don't want to be ugly. Nobody wants to be, what are you laughing at? So I've been taking pictures of Nikki today, and I'm going to show you what kind of light I've put her in. Now, Gemma's in the background. She's trying not to be seen, but she's going to be seen, so I'm sorry about that, okay? So, give it a second. Here's Gemma hiding. She's disappeared altogether. So what I've done with Nikki, I'm really sorry. What I've done with Nikki is I've turned her knees towards the window, which is here. So she's not totally flat lit. She's got some lovely contour to her face. She looks beautiful. And whenever I just say, teeth, Nikki, we get a lovely smile out of her. So generally facing, it's a nice soft window. There's no crazy harsh sunlight coming in. You can see around this room. It's nice and soft. And Nikki looks, it was a nice light, wasn't it, Nikki? You don't feel like you're blinded by light?
No, I'm okay.
You're okay. Emotionally and physically.
Fine.
Perfect. So it's not really important what camera I'm using here, so I'm just going to stick up the labels, but you'll see where the girls were facing quite kind of flat onto the window, and it provides a nice soft light onto their face. And especially for a woman, she's going to want that nice soft lighting on her face. Makeup artists especially, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to turn your subject to the biggest source of light you can find, ideally a big window with nice soft light coming through it, and it's so flattering. Okay everyone, hi Dawn. So, we're outdoors now. Still in the same vein of things, just trying to show people a couple more tips about lighting. So if you look behind me, Dawn's loving life here. So if you look behind me, there's this lovely big kind of, it's not a blue sky, it's kind of a grey sky, but it's nice and soft and it's overcast. There's no crazy sunlight going on today, which for me works perfectly. So if you're trying to do kind of a fashion shot, or you're doing like a full length shot of a person, even a product outside, and you're looking at that nice soft lighting, this is the type of environment to get it. And I can't flip this camera around, but I'm going to use this big, this sky here, and I'm going to pop, so I'll show you where we're going. So, and we're going right over to this fence, and if you look at my face while we're doing this, you'll see the soft light on my face, just coming from that sky. And we're going to use this, we're going to take a couple of iPhone photos, a photo with the wee Fuji camera and one on my camera, and just show you what we can get from this. So stay tuned. I hate saying that. Here's Dawn looking pretty, looking out over the land that she's just bought, because why not? So we're using all this lovely soft light to light Dawn nice and evenly. You'll see there's not a whole pile of shadows around her. We can see what she's wearing, nice and well lit, and she'll be happy because as she looks over towards the field right now, her face is nicely well lit, nice and soft, no bags under her eyes or shadows. As we do this, by the way, I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk you through and show you exactly what I'm doing with each camera. So here we are. You can see with the iPhone, what I'm doing is I'm tapping on the screen just to tell the camera where I want to focus, what's most important to me. And as I tap, you'll see that little sunlight bit to the side, and I'll scroll my finger up and down, and as I do so, you'll see the exposure change, getting brighter and darker. As this lady walks past the pram, Dawn gets attacked with a bee and thus runs away. Kind of defeating the purpose of what we're doing, but anyway, there you go. Okay, so I'm aware of something that I haven't really alluded to much. So on the back of a camera, you'll see this is called the shutter release. This is the button you press to take a photo, okay? So there's two parts of pressing this button. You can half press it and you can full press it, okay? So if you listen, or if you look at the back, I'm gonna half press, and you'll see this pop up. That's the camera focusing, and when I press it again, that's it taking the photo. So rather than just giving it a full-on wallop and going bap, that doesn't really give the camera time to focus. What you'll do, and what you'll see a lot of photographers doing, is half holding it down. So where this little cross is where it's in focus. So for Dawn, I'm going to make sure her face is in focus. Beep, and then I'm going to move back down while holding the button half down and push it the full way to take the shot. She's looking at her feet. That's okay. Look over the field again, Dawn. Happy. Let's see some teeth. Good girl. So that's what we're doing with that. And as you can see, still the same lighting, just a different camera. And just to show that there's no trickery going on, same kind of deal. I'm getting Dawn in focus here. Boom. Teeth, Dawn. So I'm half pressing. My focus button's on the back here, by the way. I'm pressing this down to focus and then snapping in the front to get the shot. The difference between these bigger cameras or a more professional camera is this 1.8 means a lot of things, but a lot of what it does is it gets that nice blurry background. I'm not going to tell you too much more because I don't want you to know what the photo which one's which, but you can see the kind of nice blurry background that we've got there from Dawn. And even if we step a little touch closer, Dawn's gonna smile at me. Teapot, good girl. But you'll see that nice blurry background in behind, and that's a lot of what people want. And sometimes is this upside down? I don't know. Sometimes you need to spend a bit of money to get that to happen. I've heard people before say that you need to spend a couple £100. Basically, if you have, I know a Canon camera does this, okay? So you can have a Canon camera, a professional enough camera, not a bad one, and you can buy what's called a 50mm lens for about £60 and even less secondhand. And I shot my first maybe 20 weddings on one of those lenses that cost me £80 at the time, and they're fantastic, and it blurs the background out just like that one will. The only difference between my camera is it'll just be a little bit sharper, and my lens is a lot more expensive, but it'll do that job for what you're trying to do. You're not trying to, you know, if you're just trying to do this for social and not putting it on a billboard, it'll be fantastic. I'll send links to stuff, or if anyone's really interested, let me know, and I'll send you links to anything you want that will help you do this. So again, just stressing that the importance of this whole exercise is knowing where the nice soft light is. So I've purposely put Dawn in the shade, kind of in around these trees, out of the direct sunlight, so that there's no bags under her eyes, there's no harsh shadows on her face, and that what she's wearing is nicely lit. This is important if you're photographing garments, if you're photographing people and their personality, their face, what they're wearing is important. And you don't want those really harsh shadows making them squint and kind of blowing out all the details on what you're wearing. Here, this is an example. Dawn, you can smile and stuff, but like, this is an example of what, calm yourself. What a lot of people do is they see this lovely background and they're like, oh, happy days. We'll stand you there and we'll get this in the background. And it's difficult. It's difficult to get the subject in front, especially when the background's so bright, and especially with just your phone. You don't have an awful lot of control with your phone. I'm going to brighten it up here. Dawn, look up to me and you'll see how bright our phone has to get a kind of nice picture of Dawn and what happens to the background. So just because your eye sees it doesn't mean your phone or your camera sees it. I'm going to darken this down again to see. So that's what kind of has to happen. So just because you see a lovely background doesn't really mean that you're going to get the results that you want, and just because of the background. If you're taking a photo of fashion, like we're trying to get a picture of Dawn here and what she's wearing, the lighting on the fashion and on the person is far more important. So Dawn, I'm just going to follow you back over to where we were. So come you back over to the tree. So I haven't changed anything with the camera, and Dawn's just going to turn around and face that field that we touch. She's going to lift her chin up, and you can see how much more evenly she's lit. I'm brightening it a tiny touch here, but there's nothing really crazy going on. It's nice and soft on her. We're not too much worried about what's going on over here, but we've got the shot of the clothes and the garment. Maybe we're going to go a tiny bit closer. We'll see on Dawn's face as she looks eyes up to the camera. You'll see her face is nice and soft, the lighting's nice and soft, and it's not too harsh. You can see a little bit of highlighty stuff going on here. If we bring her around here, Dawn face round, it's still quite nice. Come around again. Yeah, so the lighting's quite nice and soft here. I mean, this is an exercise anyone can do. Turn your shoulders around to me again, Dawn. You know, so we're not trying to get the background too much in, but you can see have a look at what it looks like on the screen, but try and get light nice and soft. That's the best thing to do. Folks, I hope that's been somehow kind of half helpful to anyone out there. As I say, I filmed this, I intended to do this over one day and film it and put it together and have it done, but it's been, I think I've had 3 haircuts in the time it's taken to film all this, just because I've been busy. And I've probably spoken quite photo-termy, kind of probably not in layman's terms. So if there's anything that doesn't make sense and anything you don't understand, or any one particular part of any of that you'd like me to focus in on, I'm happy to make some more videos, even just like this. As I say, I'm quite good with film and I'm quite good with photo, and I can make very professional end products, but I was more keen on just making this convenient for me to do, to throw it together on my phone, and in this case, kind of getting it done was better than it looking like an epic story told with 300 different camera angles. So yeah, thanks for watching, and share it with people, anyone you think might benefit from it. Hopefully it's not just me and Kira watching this. Thanks.